Hello guys. Welcome here. Two of the villain's most famous henchpeople are joining the cast of Supergirl Season 4. Could Lex Luthor be far behind? Supergirl has done more than its share of bringing characters from Superman's world into the fold. For starters, Jimmy Olsen is in each and every episode, and we had an entire season with Cat Grant making Kara's life a little bit more anxious, and another with Metropolis' own Maggie Sawyer. The show brought Tyler Hoechlin in as Superman himself in the Season 2 opener, which itself was loaded with Man of Steel lore. We've had plenty of one-and-done villains and minor recurring characters who come right out of the pages of Superman comics, but one has cast the longest shadow, Lex Luthor. The Luthor family is inescapable on Supergirl, with Kara's increasingly uneasy friendship with Lena Luthor taking the spotlight during Season 3, and her mother Lillian Luthor spending a considerable chunk of Season 2 giving everyone headaches. Lex Luthor has been mentioned plenty of times. One of those awesome purple and green warsuits showed up once, and we even visited his mansion late in the third season. Still, we have yet to see his bald head. But Supergirl Season 4 is now introducing two more characters with direct links to Superman's greatest enemy. The show just cast Rona Mitra as Mercy Graves, familiar to Superman fans as Lex Luthor's super-strong personal bodyguard. Mercy first appeared on the indispensable Superman the Animated Series in 1996, and has since made her into the pages of DC Comics and even on the big screen for the regrettable Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, where she was played by Tao Okamoto. The show isn't stopping there, also introducing Robert Baker as Otis Graves. That would be Otis, as in Gene Hackman bellowing Otis in his most annoyed tones in Superman the Movie and Superman 2. That bumbling Otis, who was played by the brilliant Ned Beatty, never had a last name, but Supergirl has paid tribute to the Richard Donner Superman movies every chance it gets, and you don't name a character Otis in this world unless you mean it. Right now, there have been no announcements or indications that the show is looking to cast Lex for this season. And to be perfectly clear, there are already enough villainous types lined up already, with both Agent Liberty and Manchester Black lining up to lower the property values in National City. But adding two more characters with direct connections to Lex, and who have an on-screen history with him despite being blood relatives, you can't really say that about Lillian or Lena, seem to push things about as far as you can go without actually doing it. After all, the first season of Supergirl invoked Clark's name so often that it would have felt like a cheat if they didn't actually introduce the character by the time we got to Season 2. We might be approaching that point with Lex, as well. I'm not suggesting they use Lex as a crutch or a season-long villain. But having met Kal-El and assorted other members of the Superman supporting cast and extended family, it would be great to see what this universe's take on Lex Luthor might be. And while there seem to be no plans to bring Tyler Hoechlin's Superman back anytime soon, although I can't help but notice that the third episode of the season is called Man of Steel. Having Kara and Clark take on Lex and whatever he cooked up could make for a fine two-part episode at some point in Supergirl Season 4. It would probably be a little too much if they brought Michael Rosenbaum in, although I wouldn't complain. In the meantime, we'll just have to content ourselves with Mercy and Otis. And considering how little these characters have been explored beyond their most basic traits, maybe that will be enough this season. Who would you want to see play Lex Luthor if he were introduced to the DC TV universe? I would love to hear your comment. What else is happening in the DC universe? Find out by subscribing to my channel. See you soon.